Yo, in this video, I'm not sure what the title will be, but most of it is going to be based on thoughts and feelings about yourself or who you are as a person. Mainly, I guess ego is what I'll be talking about. And a big thing that I believe caused me to be a certain way, like to think certain things about myself, is OCD. And I could get into it as to why. I've got some notes, so if I'm looking up, that's why. One thing about OCD is where people, it's not OCD as into where like you feel like you have to like fix this because it's out of place. That's the common one that everyone knows, like they gotta clean their area because they feel like whatever might happen, you know. But it's way deeper than that. It's very deep when it comes to this side of it. It's where you feel like your thoughts don't align with who you are as a person. And it's a good example is like you say, I want to be a good person, or maybe your parents might tell you have to be a good person or something bad will happen, or, you know, they tell us all the time, be a good person, you know, and this really makes all kinds of different people when you think about it. Makes Christians, they want to be good people or they're going to hell, or nice guys who finish last. You know, those are the people that feel like if they don't treat a woman right or whatever with respect, like be highly nice to women and be putting them on a pedestal, that's another example of this sort of idea of being a good person. And how it gets fucked up is you as a person with OCD, or it could be everyone has a form of something, you know, a form of a thought disorder. It's really whatever it is, it's out of order, these thoughts that we're having. Person will say, I must be nice to people, you know, I must, you know, or this will happen. And it gets to a point where it's like an echo chamber within your mind, and you're saying, if I don't do this, or if I say this, you know, if I say certain thing, does that make me come off as a narcissist? Does it make me come off as somebody who's crazy, who has schizophrenia or some shit like that, you know? And when these things get you all out of whack, it controls your whole reality. It controls your whole inner dialogue with yourself. It even controls the dialogue you have with other people. It's very crazy how that affects people. Something else I wanted to talk about was like conspiracy theories and how that affects people. It's crazy how it affected me going on YouTube, you know, feeling a certain way, like believing a certain thing, and then looking that up because it was such a crazy experience that I was having, and it terrified me, and I had to find some kind of relief, and the only relief I could find was, you know, Google. This thing we have, the internet, it's a give and take, you know, it's double-edged sword. And when you look things up, especially if you're going through some kind of like diagnosis or some kind of feeling, thoughts, whatever, it makes it worse because there's more people on the internet that reassure you or reinforce you into that headspace, the headspace that they're in. Now you're a part of that, and I found this video on Vice. They made a documentary about these people called targeted individuals. Targeted individuals. I'll put a link to that documentary. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I want to get more into it later, like in another video or something. And what's so fascinating about this reality that these people live in, because it is real. It's not real, but it's real, if you know what I mean. Like, the experience that they're having it's valid for them to be experiencing this, because your thoughts and feelings affect the outside world in a way that puts you in that place of paranoia, anxiety, and depression. All these thoughts that you're having will affect the reality that you're living in. And I started to believe that myself, and I started looking around, finding things that aligned with my beliefs, and I started to believe it more and more and more, and got more paranoid. Couldn't trust anybody at that point, because the things they're saying are scary, very scary stuff. Like, conspiracy theories are something we have to take with a grain of salt. You know, anything on the internet should be taken with a grain of salt. And it's crazy. That's all I can say. It's terrifying, horrifying. And ever since that I got into it, I had this disbelief, you know, and this is with a lot of things relating to OCD. Like, there's always this disbelief, you know, and you're like uncertain with the true idea of it. Like, is it true or is it not true about me, you know? And I kept having to reassure myself that I'm not crazy, or, you know, or this isn't real. But I would look out into the reality and it would just keep telling me it's real. But that's when the OCD becomes outside of your head. And I think it's something that we all can experience. I mean, I don't know. That's when it becomes something you really can't control, because you're having to reassure memories and feelings and moments in time, rather than just a little piece of dust on the table, or, you know, like something you have to clean up. Now it's like a memory and feeling that you're trying to figure out if it's real or not. You know, it's very complicated. I mean, it's not that complicated, but it's very in-depth of how this affects people. I also had this, I mean, I could make a video on that later, but this fear that I was gay or something like that, that's something I could talk about later. But yeah, really, I just want to say, any of this stuff, if it like concerns you, like anything that you might think about yourself, it could be anything. Like, you could have low self-esteem and you might be depressed all the time because you feel like you're not good enough. And what you got to realize is that, let me see what I wrote down. Basically, just realize that in all of this, who you are as a person is merely just what you gravitate towards at that level of consciousness, at that level of belief in yourself or in the world around you. And once you believe something without a doubt, that's where growth can happen or destruction can happen. It can go either way, you know. It can go this way or it can go that way, you know. but it doesn't look like this. It looks like this, you know, it's a roller coaster. And a belief can be anything. Can be, I am good enough. I am a kind person. You know, I am not a nice person where I go to the extreme and do the extreme, but I am a kind person where I will hold the door open for someone, or something like that. You know, you have to reassure yourself with those beliefs as well. It's all about viewing yourself as worthy, as confident, you know. It's not hard. It's not easy at the same time, but what I'm saying is it's a perspective shift, you know. It's a realization that your thoughts, feelings, and actions are all what makes you who you are as a person and things you value, you know. When you value low level, like negative energy, because it gratifies you at that low level state of consciousness, that's all you're going to stay in, that world of destruction and anxiety and depression, you know what I mean? Like, you may want those things up there with the positive energy and positive manifestation, but you're too busy keeping your head stuck in this one place. And once you start to believe your self-worth, what you're really worth, your true potential, things just come to you. Like, you will get what you want, you know. And it's not something that you can work on in one day, you know. And you might fall off the horse, you know, you might fall off track, but once you know this, what I'm telling you, you know, nothing can stop you. The devil can't stop you, you know, like, no one can stop you. You're the only one who can stop yourself from that. And sometimes you might have to take a step back and relax, you know. I mean, I'm talking to myself right now as well. Like, sometimes you might have to slow down. Your head might be going all kinds of ways, and you might want to do this, and that. You know, you might want to get what you want right now, and it's not happening. Like, it's not happening, but just be patient, you know, just be patient, and it will come to you. I hope that whatever I said made sense, and I hope that people can understand the things I'm saying, because I'm not really giving too much detail, but I hope that that little resolution that I tried to make at the end of it makes sense. And thanks for watching. Bye.